Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. We got some news today. I'm just going to deliver the news today. AP, Associated Press headline, court denies rapper Tory Lanez' appeal of his conviction in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting. All right, so we know that Tory was convicted and he is currently serving a sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. And we know that he had launched an appeal. And that appeal has been denied. I know there's a lot of opinions on this. I know there's a lot of people who believe very strongly otherwise, and people who appeal very strongly that he's guilty. But all we have to go on is the facts of what the court is saying. And I'm not sitting here and saying that the court system gets it right every time, but we have a conviction and we have appeal that was denied. I'll read the article right now by Andrew Dalton. Los Angeles, Associated Press, a California court on Wednesday denied rapper Tory Lanez' appeal of his guilty verdict on charges he fired a gun at Megan Thee Stallion. I still feel the way every time they say rapper Tory Lanez. I mean, he came into the game singing. He definitely raps. Like, I feel like that rapper just adds like an extra negative, like rapper Tory, like talking down. But whatever, that just might be me and my feelings. California court on Wednesday denied rapper Tory Lanez' appeal of his guilty verdict on charges he fired a gun at Megan Thee Stallion. And when I say talking down, not talking down on Tory, talking down on rap. You know what I'm saying? Talking down on hip hop. Like at this point, we know they're both rappers. We know who they are. They've been in headlines for the past 3 years. I don't know that we needed rapper Tory Lanez. It's just like Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion. We know who they are. But it says a 3-judge panel from the California 2nd District Court of Appeal issued a ruling saying that they affirm in full his conviction on 3 felony counts. They did not publicly release an opinion with their reasoning. In December 2022, Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Megan testified during the trial that in July 2020, after they left the party at Kylie Jenner's Hollywood Hills home, Lanez fired the gun at the back of her feet and shouted for her to dance as she walked away from an SUV in which they had been riding together with 2 others. She had bullet fragments in both feet that had to be surgically removed. It wasn't until months after the shooting that she publicly identified Lanez as the person who had fired the gun. Attorneys for Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Wednesday's ruling. They can petition to have the California Supreme Court hear the appeal. A representative for Megan also did not immediately answer an email seeking comment. Lanez is serving a 10-year sentence at California's Men Colony near San Luis Obispo, California. He was moved there after he was stabbed by a fellow inmate at California Correctional Institution at Tehachapi. And we had talked about that when it happened. So appeal denied. And they can petition to have the California Supreme Court hear the appeal. So we'll see how far they go. I know we see a lot of this play out in social media. The DNA on the gun, the driver made a statement, this, that, whatever evidence that his team and his supporters feel will exonerate him. But when it comes to how it's played out in court, we got the guilty verdict and we got the appeal denied. And again, I'm not saying our court system gets it right all the time, but that's all we have to go on. That's all I have to go on. Right now, like the information that I have to go on is like guilty and appeal denied. It'll be interesting how much further this thing goes. I know there are a lot of people who believe there's a conspiracy going on. I'm not one of those people, you know what I'm saying, who believes that there is this conspiracy to bury Tory Lanez. I think we had a super unfortunate incident. Somebody got to pay for it, and he was found guilty. If somebody else shot her, then you got to say who. You got to say who it is at this point. Like, then who? If it wasn't Tory Lanez, then who? And I know that's not the way the court system works either. The court system is they have to prove you're presumed innocent and they have to prove you guilty, but the court found them guilty. The jury found them guilty, and the appeal has been denied. I don't know how much further this thing goes on, but it's funny. This is one of the more interesting cases in the fact when you factor in social media, no matter what the court decides, there will be a group of people who just believe what they believe, and you won't be able to tell them different. I don't really know what to say from here. I'm just going off of this. But that's it, man. That's where it is. Obviously, y'all know y'all can hit me in the comments as y'all always do, and I'll respond back. And, just reporting the news. So that's where we at today. The appeal has been denied, and we'll see if they'll take it to California Supreme Court. And what happens next. All right? Till the next time, man. Peace.